Rangers told to grow a set of balls after Graeme Souness opportunity wasted following talks. Rangers and Celtic blow English journalist away with what they did. Ross Mccausland makes confession over his madcap Malmo moment as Rangers hero sees light at the end of the tunnel. Rangers target Morgan Whittaker transfer claim emerges amid Plymouth exit links. Cyriel Dessers lauded after what Barry Ferguson saw him do. Before we get into the news, drop a like on the video if you support Rangers. Today I had to make the video before the result against Hibernian, but I'll be back with updates later. Rangers have been told to grow a set of balls and bring in individuals who can truly help the club, following the missed opportunity to get Graeme Souness back involved, according to Derek Ferguson. Souness, the former Rangers player manager, was in talks with ex-chief executive James Bisgrove 2 summers ago after leaving his role with Sky Sports. Despite expectations of a return to Rangers, it never happened. There was renewed interest when Michael Beale was sacked last year, with Simon Jordan from TalkSport suggesting Souness could wake the club up and create a winning culture. Jim White also claimed that the former Scotland midfielder was going to get his way at Ibrox, but yet again, nothing came of it. With Bisgrove now working in the Saudi Pro League and John Bennett resigning due to health issues, interim chairman John Gilligan has since urged Dave King to tone down his criticism of the current board. Ferguson expressed his disappointment that the club missed the chance to bring Souness back into the fold. Ferguson, speaking to Ibrox News, said, "I was also a bit bemused going back a few months about the Souness situation. They had an opportunity to bring Graeme Souness into the club. And for whatever reason, maybe again, Graeme Souness, straight talker, tells you the way it is. I don't think that suited certain people. So they've just got to grow a set of balls, so they have, and get these guys in that can help Rangers." At a time when Rangers are without a chief executive to replace Bisgrove and only have an interim chairman in place, Ferguson believes Souness could have brought authority to the club. However, there is no guarantee his return would have been the magic fix, especially as Souness himself once favored Frank Lampard over Philippe Clement as manager, a decision that many believe could have been disastrous for the club. Rangers and Celtic have blown an English journalist away with their recent performances in European competition. Andy Dunn, writing in the Sunday Mirror on 29 September, was full of praise for the quality shown by the two Scottish sides. Rangers, of course, kicked off their Europa League campaign with a solid 2-0 victory away at Malmo, with goals coming from Nedim Badrami and Ross Mccausland. Meanwhile, their old firm rivals, Celtic, started their Champions League journey in emphatic fashion, securing a 5-0 win at Parkhead. Dunn remarked that anyone who saw those two games will have been impressed by the standard of football the Scottish sides produced. He even ventured to say that while it's extremely unlikely, adding Rangers and Celtic to the Premier League would help solidify its claim to being the best league in the world. While Rangers' exit from the Champions League, in controversial circumstances against Dynamo Kyiv, was disappointing, Philippe Clement's side have embraced the Europa League with confidence. Not long ago, Giovanni van Bronckhorst led the team to the final of the competition, only to lose on penalties to Frankfurt in 2022. The recent win against Malmo shows that Rangers are determined to make a statement this year. Though there may be some regret about missed chances to extend their lead, it's unlikely to weigh heavily on them. This could well serve as a springboard for the remainder of their season as Clement seeks to build momentum following a frustrating end to last season and a tricky start to the current campaign. Still, before dreaming of Premier League heights, the Belgian manager must focus on re-establishing Rangers' dominance in the Scottish Premiership. Ross Mccausland admits he was caught up in the chaos of his brilliant moment in Malmo, but he's confident that Rangers are now on the right path as they prepare to face a packed Ibrox for the first time this season. Mccausland's clinical finish sealed a superb 2-0 win over Malmo, ending Rangers' Swedish hoodoo and getting their Europa League campaign off to a flying start. The traveling 1,500 supporters erupted with joy, but Mccausland confessed that, in the excitement, he got a bit lost as to where to run for the celebrations. The youngster reflected on the victory, saying, "When I scored, it took me a minute to process where the fans were, so I had to turn around. When you score in such a big game, it's almost like you black out for a second. But obviously, I was buzzing to be able to contribute. The boys did so well, and we deserved it." With 3 straight wins since the Celtic defeat, Rangers now have momentum. Mccausland acknowledges that the squad needed time to gel, especially with so many new players in the building. He said, "Patience is the best way to describe it, not getting too low or too high. You can see now with our performances, people are looking more comfortable around each other, so it's looking good." Off the pitch, the news is just as positive, with Rangers finally able to open Ibrox to a full-capacity crowd after renovations to the Copland Road end. Mccausland is relishing the thought of playing in front of a full house, saying, "It'll be amazing to see everybody there, full and raring to go. Being back at Ibrox is going to be one of our biggest things for the rest of the season." The tight schedule means Clement's team will have to manage their recovery carefully, with Hibs up next fewer than 72 hours after their victory in Sweden. Mccausland, however, remains optimistic, saying, "That's the joys of being a footballer at a club like Rangers. You might only have a day to recover, but it's part and parcel of the game." Clement's preparations for the Malmo match were far from ideal, with injuries and visa issues affecting key players like Hamza Igamane and Ridvan Yilmaz. But despite being down to the bare bones, Rangers outplayed the Swedish champions, showing that the squad is coming together. Mccausland added, "The way we played without the injured boys was good, but with them filtering back in, they're going to add quality to the group." Rangers were heavily linked with a move for Morgan Whittaker during the summer, but the player ultimately stayed at Plymouth, with Whittaker himself stating it was the right decision for his career at the time. Speaking to the Daily Record on 28th of September, the 23-year-old revealed that he's comfortable with how things turned out, even though he remains open to moving to a higher level if the right opportunity comes along. Whittaker reflected on the situation, saying, "I've been in this position before, so I know how to handle it. The key is focusing on what I can control. When I was at Swansea, things were different because I wasn't guaranteed game time. But here at Plymouth, I'm playing regularly, which is exactly what I want. If a move to a higher level comes up, great, but I'm happy where I am right now." Rangers made a strong attempt to bring Whittaker to Ibrox over the summer. According to reports from the Daily Record in July, they tabled a substantial offer of £7 million, but that was knocked back by Plymouth. Undeterred, Rangers prepared a second bid, but ultimately Plymouth stood firm, reportedly wanting closer to £10 million, a fee beyond what Rangers were willing to pay, especially after bringing in other wide attackers during the window. Whittaker could have been a good addition for Rangers, but it was clear that his valuation was simply too steep. Whether the club will return with another bid in January remains to be seen, but for now, it looks like that particular pursuit has cooled. Rangers striker Cyriel Dessers has been receiving high praise, particularly from former club captain Barry Ferguson, after his impressive performance in the 2-0 victory over Malmo. It was Dessers' early contribution that led to the opening goal, with his pressing forcing a mistake from the Malmo defense and setting up Nedim Bajrami to score within the first minute. Ferguson, writing for the Daily Record, highlighted Dessers' role in the game, stating, "Forcing Malmo into a mistake by harassing the fullback inside a minute set the tone, and it was a brilliant 1-2 off the post from Cyriel Dessers for his teammate to score." That fast start spoke volumes about their thought process. They had the belief to go and impose their game, and the confidence grew throughout the side. Despite some criticism last season, Dessers has emerged as an unsung hero for Rangers this term. While new signings have drawn much of the attention, Dessers has quietly gone about leading the line with conviction. He was even linked with a potential exit during the summer, but his decision to stay has paid off, with the Nigerian forward now becoming a key player for Philippe Clement. With Hamza Igamani still adjusting to life in Scotland and Danilo recovering from injury, Dessers has taken on the responsibility of being the club's reliable option in the final third. His strength and work ethic have been pivotal in recent weeks, and Rangers fans will be hoping he continues this form to keep the pressure on Celtic at the top of the league. I'll be back with more bombastic and exclusive Rangers news at any moment. If you don't want to miss any, just hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, alright? We are the people.